Sung Jin-woo is an earrank hunter. He is known as the weakest hunter because he risks his life even in the weakest dungeons. Although Sung Jin-woo is a hunter, he doesn't have any skills. He can only earn a little money by fighting monsters in low-level dungeons. This is his daily life until he finds a strange dungeon. Inside this dungeon, Sung Jin-woo and others find a mysterious room. As hunters, they don't hesitate to open the door and enter. Inside, there are many giant statues of various shapes. They find a text written on stone. It contains the rules of the Parthenon temple. The first rule is to worship the god. The second rule is to praise the god. The third rule is to prove loyalty. Those who don't follow the rules will never return home alive. Suddenly, the door of the room closes, causing everyone to panic. One person doesn't like this feeling and wants to open the door to leave. But a terrifying thing happens when he touches the door. The statue by the door suddenly swings its axe and kills him instantly, then returns to its original position. At this moment, Sung Jin-woo notices that the sitting statue has opened its eyes and is looking at him. The person who was killed instantly is a D-rank hunter, which makes Sung Jin-woo, an E-rank hunter, worry about his safety. Suddenly, a laser beam shoots out from the statue's eyes, sweeping across everyone. Although Sung Jin-woo warns everyone in time, some people don't react quickly enough and lose their lives. The team leader is lucky enough to sit down at Sung Jin-woo's warning, so he only loses an arm. Some of the survivors are losing their calm and control. A young man, confident in his abilities, tries to escape the dungeon using his speed. But just as he is about to reach the door, he is turned into dust by the laser beam. Sung Jin-woo realizes that to escape this dungeon, they must follow the rules of the Parthenon temple. Sung Jin-woo remembers the first rule, to worship the god. He uses himself to test his hypothesis and successfully finds the pattern of the first rule. It turns out that the statue will attack anyone whose head is higher than its eyes. So, Sung Jin-woo advises everyone to bow their heads in front of the statue. Although the statue stops attacking, a creepy smile appears on its face. Then, the statue suddenly stands up from its seat and walks towards everyone. Sung Jin-woo then mentions the second rule, to praise the god. A man who looks like a priest volunteers to go to the statue and try to praise it. But the statue doesn't hesitate to step on him and kill him instantly. This causes everyone to run in panic. At this moment, the surrounding statues start moving and killing the fleeing people. While running, Sung Jin-woo notices that the statues holding musical instruments won't attack, so he tells everyone to find the statues with musical instruments and go there. When someone approaches, the statues make sounds as if they are playing their instruments. But when Sung Jin-woo approaches the statue holding a drum, it doesn't move, making him feel like he is about to die. At this point, because the statue did not move, Sung Jin-woo lost a leg and had to rely on Junhee to stop the bleeding. However, due to the severity of the injury, Junhee was also exhausted from helping Sung Jin-woo. At this time, only 6 hunters remained alive. Then, the statue created an altar. Sung Jin-woo realized that this was a test for the final rule to prove his faith. The team leader was asked to go to the altar because they believed it was his responsibility. The team leader, who had lost an arm, had to accept this request and go to the altar. When the team leader stepped up, a red flame appeared around the altar. At this point, Sung Jin-woo also asked them to carry him to the altar. Sung Jin-woo also realized the rule of the altar, so he requested more people to come up so that the altar could function. When there were enough people on the altar, the flames spread around, creating blue flames, and the door began to open. At this point, the axe-holding statues were slowly approaching the altar. But if no one was watching, the statues would come faster. A girl couldn't stand the pressure and ran straight towards the door and escaped. At this point, the remaining people also understood that they could now run towards the door and escape, but if no one was watching the statue, everyone would die. Because of the injury to his leg, Sung Jin-woo helplessly watched others run away and leave him behind. Only 3 people, the team leader, wanted Sung Jin-woo and Jun-hee to escape, and he would stay behind. But just now, because of using too much energy to stop the bleeding, Sung Jin-woo and Jun-hee could not move. Because of Jun-hee, Sung Jin-woo told the team leader to take her out, and he would stay here. After the 2 left, only Sung Jin-woo was left. Although he was alone, Sung Jin-woo still held a sword to resist. But with the ability of an ear-rank hunter, Sung Jin-woo could only eat a lot of punches. At this point, he was hit by the statue onto the altar, and in the moment of death, the strong desire to live flowed in his thoughts. And a wish that if he could live this life again, he would not let this happen again. At this moment, a notification board appeared in front of him. The system wanted Sung Jin-woo to become a player. Although suspicious, he did not hesitate to agree because he was about to die anyway. After choosing to agree, Sung Jin-woo woke up 3 days later and found himself in the hospital. While Sung Jin-woo was still doubting life, 2 inspectors came to find Sung Jin-woo. It turned out that when they arrived at the double dungeon, everything that the survivors had told about had completely disappeared. At that time, only Sung Jin-woo was lying unconscious on the altar. At this point, the investigators thought that Sung Jin-woo had hit the jackpot by surviving in that situation, and had the potential to awaken again. Because normally, hunters will receive a fixed ability after awakening, but there are a few special cases that will awaken a second time. So the 2 investigators thought it was Sung Jin-woo's time. So they came to check his index. After bringing out the energy measuring machine, they received a result of only 10 points. Even at rank E, the lowest score is 70, so the investigator turned around thinking that a waste is still a waste. Then they left Sung Jin-woo there and packed up and left. But at this time, Sung Jin-woo didn't have time to care about them. Because in front of him, a message board was still appearing that only he could see. While Sung Jin-woo wanted to explore it, his sister Sung Jin-woo came to visit. However, his sister also couldn't see the system board. When Sung Jin-woo opened the unread letter, he immediately received a daily task. The task was to perform physical exercises a certain number of times as specified by the task. If Sung Jin-woo did not complete the task, he would be taken to a place of punishment. However, at that time, Sung Jin-woo thought it was a joke, so he ignored it and went to sleep. While Sung Jin-woo was deep in sweet dreams, the deadline for the task arrived. Then, Sung Jin-woo was taken to a strange desert under the blazing sun. While Sung Jin-woo was still stunned, a giant scorpion from behind was preparing to make him its dinner. Sung Jin-woo saw his punishment: he had to survive in this situation for 4 hours. After reading this, Sung Jin-woo felt that he had been played by the system. After struggling to escape the giant scorpion for 4 hours, Sung Jin-woo was returned to the hospital. Although the system sent a reward after completing the punishment task, Sung Jin-woo fainted immediately after 4 hours of being tormented by the system. For days after receiving the punishment task, Sung Jin-woo realized a few things. The system board was not an illusion, even though only Sung Jin-woo could see it. The rewards for completing tasks were real, and he could even increase his stats. This made Sung Jin-woo think of it as a game, and he was a player who could get stronger when he had points to increase for himself. After being discharged from the hospital, the first thing Sung Jin-woo did was to check a key he got from a random box when completing a daily task. It was a key that could instantly create a dungeon at the 3rd entrance at Hapyeong Station. After using the key and entering the dungeon, the door automatically closed. The system also informed Sung Jin-woo that he had to kill the boss or use a soul stone to leave the dungeon. At this time, Sung Jin-woo was very worried because he had never had to sweep a dungeon alone. After entering, Sung Jin-woo encountered a ferocious wolf. Of course, it was more ferocious than a pet dog. Sung Jin-woo was so scared that he couldn't move his legs, but when the wolf attacked, he almost dodged and realized that his body had become much lighter, so he was unexpectedly agile. Sung Jinwoo easily punched the wolf into the wall, which he didn't expect to be so strong. But the wolf was still very tough, so that punch only made it more aggressive and attacked him. While dodging, Sung Jinwoo was also thinking about what to do to defeat this monster. And then, Sung Jinwoo remembered that he had a sword in his inventory, so he immediately pulled it out and slashed it at the wolf's head. With just one slash, Sung Jinwoo defeated it, and the system also announced that he had leveled up. But before he could think further, two more slowly approached him. But with the sword and the confidence just buffed after defeating the monster, Sung Jinwoo was no longer afraid. Sung Jinwoo rushed in and cut one down, then said to the other, "Compared to the monsters I met in that room, you guys are still green." After hearing Sung Jinwoo's words, the remaining one was scared and slowly retreated. At this time, Sung Jinwoo also had time to check his stats again. And he realized that every time he leveled up, he would receive a stat point. Completing daily tasks would give him 3 points. The monsters he killed also dropped items, and the system had a store for exchanges, but there were level restrictions. As Sung Jinwoo was contemplating his next move, the wolf that had retreated returned with its pack. It's true what they say about dogs: if you don't fight back, they'll call for backup. At this point, Sung Jinwoo had no choice but to charge in and kill these dogs. His sword strokes became more fluid and sharp. Sung Jinwoo felt stronger as he continued to level up, and the number of wolves decreased. After killing a pack of wolves, another pack arrived, not giving Sung Jinwoo a chance to breathe. But Sung Jinwoo managed to handle them all and even earned the title of Wolf Slayer after exterminating pack after pack. After exterminating all the wolves, his sword was chipped, but his loot was plentiful. With 34 wolf teeth, 2 blunt knives, a fake adventurer's jacket, and a stone, he was quite satisfied with this trip. But now, Sung Jinwoo was faced with a choice: use the Heartstone to return or stay and completely exterminate the dungeon. But Sung Jinwoo quickly decided that to become stronger, he must clear the dungeon before returning. With continuous leveling, fighting became easier for Sung Jinwoo. Sung Jinwoo also noticed the color coding of the monsters' names. White was weaker than him, orange was stronger, and red was a warning to run before things got worse. Sung Jinwoo realized he had become much stronger and decided to face the final boss of the dungeon. But as soon as he arrived, Sung Jinwoo was hit by the boss, breaking his chipped sword. The final boss was a giant snake, and its name was displayed in orange, signaling a tense and dangerous battle for Sung Jinwoo. With a short sword in hand, Sung Jinwoo had to attack and think about how to deal with the snake's stomach. But the final boss was not weak. With its incredible speed, the snake landed continuous hits on Sung Jinwoo, making him realize he was still too weak. And Sung Jinwoo asked himself how much stronger he needed to be to escape his past as the weakest hunter. Furious at being labeled a failure, and thinking that standing before a great power, everything was too easy to betray, Sung Jinwoo swore to himself that he must become stronger than anyone in this world to avoid feeling this frustration again. However, he still faced a difficult challenge. Despite trying various attacks, the snake was not injured at all. Finally, he decided to increase all his stats and strength, grab the snake's head, and strangle it to death. After that, Sung Jinwoo gained a lot of experience and leveled up continuously. Not only that, Sung Jinwoo also received a dagger made from a fang with a paralyzing and bleeding effect, and a bag of snake serum. As soon as the snake was defeated, the dungeon disappeared, and Sung Jinwoo returned to reality. But when Sung Jinwoo stepped out of the subway station, he met a soldier and was told that a dungeon had opened nearby. Sung Jinwoo sensed a boss monster nearby. At the scene, people were surrounding the quarantine area, watching the hunters struggle to fight the monster. They might have been fighting it for a long time, causing concern among the public due to their apparent weakness. Among them were 8 rank E and 1 rank D, Sung Jinwoo also recognized Junhee's presence in the team. At this point, Sung Jinwoo realized that this boss was only about rank D and decided to deal with it himself. As the situation became critical and the team could not stop the Stone Man boss, Sung Jinwoo, standing at a distance, threw his sword straight at the Stone Man. This immediately sent the boss back to the earth. This made the only rank D hunter in the team suspicious, knowing that there was a master around. Although he tried to inquire, Sung Jinwoo quickly disappeared and no one knew he had acted. In the following days, after returning to the hospital due to completing many daily tasks, Sung Jinwoo's body became more robust and masculine. This made the hospital nurse, after seeing Sung Jinwoo after training, become infatuated and her heart beat faster. She couldn't help but ask for his phone number, probably intending to make Sung Jinwoo her dinner. As for Sung Jinwoo, he thought she asked for his number just to inform him of his test results, so he gave her his number right away. He was indeed a naive and innocent young man. After returning home, his sister, Sung Jin, also noticed his change. She noticed that he was taller and more muscular. At this point, Sung Jinwoo also realized that as his stats increased, his body changed to adapt to that strength. This made Sung Jinwoo think about which points and stats to add to make it reasonable. While thinking, he received a call from the Hunter Association, but it turned out to be just a reminder for him to pay his rent. Sung Jinwoo promised to pay as soon as possible. Therefore, Sung Jinwoo also thought about whether he should recheck his rank. Because the higher the rank, the more money he can make. This will make his life less difficult than it is now. But that would also put him in the sights of the greedy if they knew his power could increase indefinitely. So Sung Jinwoo decided not to let anyone know until he was strong enough to protect himself. But he also needed to earn money to support his life until he was strong enough. So he decided to join a high-level dungeon exploration team to make money. This time the dungeon was a rank C dungeon. The current team has 5 rank C and 4 rank D, so he joined just to make up the numbers. Because according to the regulations in high-level dungeons, only when there are enough numbers can they enter the dungeon. Here, Sung Jinwoo was exempted from fighting. Sung Jinwoo also got to know Yoo Jinho, a 22-year-old young man who was at rank D, but he was wearing all the expensive stuff and it was his first time entering a dungeon. It looked like the rich second generation who topped up VIP to play games. Finally, before entering the dungeon, Sung Jinwoo had to sign a contract and his task was just to carry things for everyone. At this moment, after preparing all the equipment, everyone advances toward the entrance of the C-rank dungeon. However, when they step inside, everyone is surprised because there are no monsters in sight. Only Sung Jinwoo hears a noise and realizes that the creatures here are all insects. Right after that, a horde of insects swarms in from all directions and surrounds everyone. At this point, even though there is no healing support in the team, they split up to attack and defend flexibly. After a short time, they manage to sweep away all the monsters here, but Sung Jinwoo does nothing, which makes him feel uncomfortable. At this moment, everyone splits up to search for magic crystals from the monster corpses. However, Sung Jinwoo senses malice from those around him and warns Yoo Jinho to be cautious. After collecting everything, everyone continues exploring this dungeon. After a while, they discover the entrance to the dungeon boss's lair. Here, they find many mana crystals, which can be sold for a good price. But before that, they need to mine all the crystals and take them outside. So, team leader Hwang Dong-suk assigns Sung Jinwoo and Yoo Jinho to stay behind, while the others go outside to get the necessary tools. However, as soon as they leave, they blow up the entrance, leaving the two of them with a giant spider boss that is still asleep. Indeed, a wicked bunch. As Sung Jinwoo thinks, they are like lizards, a group that abandons the weaker ones to avoid sharing the spoils with many people. For Sung Jinwoo, escaping from here is easy. However, the giant spider boss here has awakened and is staring at him. With what Sung Jinwoo has experienced, he is confident enough to face this spider boss alone. Despite Yu Jinho's objections, Sung Jinwoo still takes his knife and goes solo with the boss of this sea-level dungeon. With his current level 18, Sung Jinwoo is no longer afraid of bosses like before. Now, he sees it as an exciting adventure. Sung Jinwoo's movements and attacks surprise Yu Jinho. Although the spider boss has a flexible attack system with its 8 legs, Sung Jinwoo can easily dodge it. It's hard for Sung Jinwoo to attack it because it has no blind spots and its weapons are extremely sharp legs. If it hits, Sung Jinwoo will surely be injured. Despite trying hard, after 10 minutes of high-frequency fighting, Sung Jinwoo gradually gets tired. The only way for Sung Jinwoo to defeat this spider is to activate the ability of his knife. When Sung Jinwoo was about to aim at the spider's weak point, its eyes, it suddenly spat out acid to attack him. Fortunately, Sung Jinwoo dodged in time. Immediately after that, Sung Jinwoo activated his speed boost skill and attacked the spider immediately. But the more he attacked, the more tired he got. When his fatigue reached 70, he was hit by the spider and flew into the wall. But Sung Jinwoo timely used his recovery ability from the daily mission reward. He immediately stabbed the spider's eye with his knife. The knife's ability was activated immediately and he used his lightning speed to slash wildly, causing the sea-level dungeon boss to die instantly. After witnessing such a spectacular solo performance, Yu Jinho changed his address and behavior towards Sung Jinwoo as a master and voluntarily carried everything for him. But at this time, those annoying lizards came back. They were surprised to see the 2 chickens they looked down on were still alive. But they thought it was because of Yu Jinho's equipment. They didn't bother to look at Sung Jinwoo, who was known as the weakest hunter. At this time, the annoying Captain Hwang Dong-suk told Yu Jinho that he had investigated him and knew he was the son of the chairman of the Yu Myunghan construction group. He offered Yu Jinho to kill Sung Jinwoo and join the group to live. If not, both will be sent to heaven. But with what Yu Jinho saw, it was not difficult for him to decide to stand on Sung Jinwoo's side. As for Sung Jinwoo, he calmly watched what those bastards wanted to do. But at this time, the system gave him an emergency mission to kill all enemies. While Sung Jinwoo was still hesitating whether to accept the mission or not, the wizard on the other side launched a killing move on Sung Jinwoo. This made Sung Jinwoo realize that in the dungeon, only the big fish eat the small fish. If there is compassion, there is only death. So he should thank the idiot who helped him realize that. It's like shooting himself in the foot. At this time, Sung Jinwoo calmly declared, "Are you guys ready to become my prey?" One fool didn't believe what he said and came to lean on Sung Jinwoo. He wanted to die, so Sung Jinwoo had to oblige with a simple move. 1 chick was sacrificed. Although he killed someone, Sung Jinwoo did not hesitate to do so in order to become stronger. The rest, seeing their teammate killed, panicked and ordered the wizard to launch a long-range attack to kill Sung Jinwoo. But this time, with a speed no different from lightning, Sung Jinwoo easily approached and minced the wizard with ease. At this point, the others also rushed up one by one, but Sung Jinwoo. Just 1 hit and 1 kill made them all go to heaven together. Only the team leader Hwang Dong-suk was left, with a panicked spirit standing there guarding against Sung Jinwoo. But because he thought Sung Jinwoo was exhausted from fighting the spider boss earlier, the commander still rushed to solo with Sung Jinwoo. He was indeed a stupid boy. But with just 1 hand, Sung Jinwoo pressed the commander's head to the ground and told him, "You have forgotten one thing, I always level up continuously." After being hit by that, Hwang Dong-suk begged Sung Jinwoo to spare him. Hwang Dong-suk even threatened that if he was killed, his younger brother would not let him go. But because of the mission and also because Sung Jinwoo didn't know who his younger brother was, he gave him a flying knife. After killing Hwang Dong-suk, Sung Jinwoo's mission was also completed and his reward was to choose one of 3 rewards, 1 to restore status, 2 to receive experience points, and 3 to have a bloodthirsty skill. And of course, Sung Jinwoo was smart enough to choose a new skill. At this time, at the Hunters Guild, a report about the sea-level dungeon had been brought to the manager Eugene Chol. The fact that a guild suffered 8 deaths when exploring a sea-level dungeon and the only 2 survivors were E and D levels attracted the attention of the Hunters Guild. What's more special is that the deceased belonged to Hwang Dong-suk's guild. He was the older brother of S-level hunter Hwang Dong-soo. That made the Hunters Guild secretly investigate Sung Jinwoo. Meanwhile, Sung Jinwoo was at home with his sister eating and reviewing the system rewards after completing the sea-level dungeon. Sung Jinwoo took out the poison sac to experiment. Drinking it would increase the strength index but would weaken the body due to the poison. Because he wanted to test the recovery skill, Sung Jinwoo immediately broke the bag to try. If this can't be cured, then it's over. But luckily, everything still happened as Sung Jinwoo thought. The next day, Eugene Ho made an appointment with Sung Jinwoo at the coffee shop. Eugene Ho wanted Sung Jinwoo to go with him 19 more times to qualify to establish a guild. In return, Eugene Ho will keep Sung Jinwoo's secret and 30 billion in cash. Along with one more condition is that when going, only the 2 of them go in, the others Eugene Ho will hire enough soldiers. At this time in Washington, USA, S-class hunter Hwang Dong-soo had learned about his brother's death. He swore to make the perpetrator taste pain. But because of his busy work, he had to restrain himself until 2 weeks later before he could fly back to Korea to deal with those chickens. Sung Jinwoo was now at the Pagu River Tower to use the S-class key he received when he completed the daily double mission. This key can open a dungeon called the Devil's Castle. Maybe this dungeon is an S-level dungeon, but Sung Jinwoo wanted to test how strong he was after a period of hard leveling, so he decided to go into this dungeon. The first boss Sung Jinwoo met was the Hell's Gatekeeper Cerberus. Immediately, Sung Jinwoo turned on the speed boosting skills and effects he had and rushed up to slash Cerberus like a stupid boy. But all of Sung Jinwoo's attacks were not enough to itch Cerberus, even making it go mad and turn on the rage skill that allows Cerberus to double its stats for 3 minutes. Because he didn't expect Cerberus to be so strong, Sung Jinwoo was beaten as soon as Cerberus attacked. One bite took away 2/3 of the health of the naive boy, Sung Jinwoo. At this point, Sung Jinwoo quickly used the daily task reward to recover, then roared and slashed at the 3 heads of Cerberus. After much effort, Sung Jinwoo managed to defeat the support and leveled up several times. Although he successfully killed the support, Sung Jinwoo knew he was still inexperienced, so he decided to stop and not proceed to the next floor. After picking up the loot, Sung Jinwoo immediately left the dungeon and returned home. A few days later, the surviving members in the double dungeon were summoned by the Hunter Association and went along with the criminals to conquer a dungeon. When everyone saw Sung Jinwoo again, they were all surprised at his change. When everyone was gathered, they set off to conquer the dungeon. After entering the dungeon, the criminals were unshackled by Kang Tae-shik from the supervision department. Then they furiously attacked the monsters to vent their hatred for being imprisoned. After exterminating the goblins, everyone continued and encountered a fork in the road. So everyone decided to split up and act separately. However, when Kang Tae-shik took the prisoners in a different direction, he revealed his purpose for coming to this dungeon was not to conquer it, but to kill these criminals without anyone knowing. Because he was paid by someone to do this job. Unfortunately, his actions were seen by a group of 2 people who had previously separated. Immediately, Kang Tae-shik attacked the 2 people. Sung Jinwoo, after hearing their screams, immediately turned back. Although Kang Tae-shik hid and attacked Sung Jinwoo sneakily, he was still able to catch Kang Tae-shik's knife-holding hand in time. After preventing the sneak attack, Sung Jinwoo saw Kim Sang-shik dying. Although Junhee used a healing spell, Kim Sang-shik had lost too much blood and did not survive. At this point, Kang Tae-shik decided to eliminate everyone so that no one would know about this secret. Song Chi-il, although a rank C mage and missing one hand, still held up his sword to face Kang Tae-shik. Before awakening, Song Chi-il was an excellent swordsman. He asked Ju-hee to buff his physical strength and was ready to solo with Kang Tae-shik. Although he was only defending and counter-attacking, Song Chi-il could not keep up with Kang Tae-shik's speed because he was a rank B hunter. So despite his best efforts, he was injured by Kang Tae-shik taking advantage of his speed. Fortunately, Ju-hee's healing buff was there, otherwise, Song Chi-il would have been long gone. But that also made Kang Tae-shik uncomfortable and decided to kill Ju-hee first. Song Chi-il timely attacked, forcing Kang Tae-shik to turn back and defend. Although Song Chi-il had excellent skills and was the master of a rank S hunter, he was just a mage, so the outcome of facing an assassin like Kang Tae-shik was just being beaten. When Kang Tae-shik was about to kill Song Chi-il, he was attacked by a pillar of fire from the ground. Although the attack was very sudden, with the speed of an assassin, Kang Tae-shik easily avoided it. Then he swung his sword to cut him, but this time Sung Jin-woo stepped in to stop Kang Tae-shik. His eyes seemed to say, "Do you think I'm invisible?" Kang Tae-shik was extremely surprised because Sung Jin-woo had blocked his attack twice. Knowing that Sung Jin-woo was only rank E, of course, Kang Tae-shik didn't believe it and calmly judged that Sung Jin-woo had awakened a second time, so he was so strong. But he was not afraid and wanted to teach the newly awakened Sung Jin-woo a lesson. Sung Jin-woo calmly asked him why he wanted to kill everyone. Kang Tae-shik said he was commissioned by a father whose child was harmed by these criminals. He also promised to spare everyone if they kept his secret. However, after hearing this, Sung Jin-woo looked as if he wanted to say, "Do I look like a naive child to believe you?" Without saying much, Kang Tae-shik immediately attacked Sung Jin-woo. But with his current skill level, Sung Jin-woo easily blocked the attack and engaged him at an extremely high speed, leaving the other two in awe of the speed of the battle. At this point, both sides were evenly matched, but Sung Jin-woo, who was buffed by Ju-hee, gradually gained the upper hand. Seeing this, Kang Tae-shik threw a sword at Ju-hee, but luckily Song Chi-il was there to block it. Worried about Ju-hee, Sung Jin-woo let his guard down. Kang Tae-shik seized this opportunity to land more than a dozen hits on Sung Jin-woo. However, this triggered a hidden mission in the system. Now Sung Jin-woo had even more reason to kill Kang Tae-shik, so the two of them clashed again. This time, Sung Jin-woo activated his speed boost skill, overwhelming Kang Tae-shik in terms of speed. After one strike, Kang Tae-shik was left with a wound on his face. He was indeed reaping what he sowed. Just one strike activated the paralysis effect from Sung Jin-woo's dagger. But as a rank B hunter, his resistance was too high, so the effect was immediately removed. At this point, Kang Tae-shik also used his ultimate skill, which was invisibility. For an assassin like him, this invisibility skill was indeed excellent, so he easily cut Sung Jin-woo's tendon. At this point, Kang Tae-shik was very pleased, thinking that Sung Jin-woo could no longer run as fast as before. But his joy was short-lived as Sung Jin-woo immediately used a recovery skill, leaving everyone in shock. Kang Tae-shik, although surprised, still attacked Sung Jin-woo. Sung Jin-woo, relying on his keen senses and perception of killing intent, blocked all attacks from Kang Tae-shik. Just as he was about to attack Sung Jin-woo head-on, Sung Jin-woo activated his bloodlust skill, plunging him into darkness for a short time. Although it was very short, it was enough time for Sung Jin-woo to stab his dagger into Kang Tae-shik's chest. With that, it was inevitable that Kang Tae-shik would meet his end. But before that, he wanted to know who Sung Jin-woo really was to have such amazing skills. However, Sung Jin-woo did not answer him because he himself did not know what kind of person he had become. After Kang Tae-shik died, his mission was also completed. After pulling his dagger from Kang Tae-shik's body, Sung Jin-woo unexpectedly received an invisibility necklace. After breaking the necklace, he could receive the skill inside. At this point, Juhee and Song Cheol decided to go outside and wait for Sung Jin-woo. He, on the other hand, went to kill the boss of this dungeon and would return later. But before that, Sung Jin-woo dragged a pretending to be dead prisoner to the boss's room and threw him to the monsters. After clearing the dungeon, Sung Jin-woo returned. Juhee reported everything to the Hunters Association. After learning of the situation, the association sent a senior inspector to the scene to investigate. The inspector sent down was Woo Jin-cheol, the head of the supervision department, who had met Sung Jin-woo before. As soon as he saw him again, Woo Jin-cheol apologized on behalf of the association to everyone. But he immediately started the investigation and asked directly who killed Kang Tae-shik. As soon as Sung Jin-woo was about to admit it was him, Song Cheol stood up and claimed it was him. After learning that a rank C wizard combined with a rank B support had killed Kang Tae-shik, Woo Jin-cheol didn't quite believe it. However, he didn't say anything. He just reminded Sung Jin-woo that if he wasn't careful, he would soon lose his life. This is because the hunter Hwang Dong-soo would seek revenge on him. The reason is that his brother died last time and only 2 people survived, including him. After that, Yoo Jin-ho called Sung Jin-woo to conquer the rank C dungeon as agreed. Those who followed were paid 3 million per person in a dungeon. And with Sung Jin-woo's strangely super fast speed, everyone was shocked. Yoo Jin-ho even said that sweeping 3 dungeons like that today made everyone silent, not knowing where they were. At this time, at the White Tiger Association office, the chairman and Sang-min received information that Yoo Jin-ho had spent money to buy the right to enter the rank C dungeon. And in the team, there was the name of Sung Jin-woo, so Sang-min immediately requested an investigation of these 2 people. With the documents that the White Tiger Association investigated, Sang-min quickly realized that Sung Jin-woo had awakened for the second time. So he decided to spy on Sung Jin-woo. After leveling up to level 40, Sung Jin-woo received a job change mission from the system. As for Sang-min, after arriving at the dungeon that Sung Jin-woo was conquering, he saw a scene that he had never thought of. That is, everyone is entertaining in their own way right in front of the rank C dungeon gate. It's really surreal. But that made him excited because his intuition was right when he thought Sung Jin-woo was very special. Right after that, Sung Jin-woo stepped out of the dungeon, and Sang-min immediately invited him to a coffee shop and then offered Sung Jin-woo to join the White Tiger Association with a price double that of the Eugene Corporation paying him. When knowing that Sung Jin-woo was paid 30 billion by Eugene, Sang-min stood up in shock and exclaimed, "What, 30 billion? The double price he offered was beyond his ability now, so he made an appointment with Sung Jin-woo for another time. Before leaving, Sung Jin-woo also let Sang-min know his value by showing his invisibility ability and leaving a scratch on his face. Then he asked Sang-min why he was investigating him. After knowing the reason, and currently only 2 people know about this, Sung Jin-woo issued a warning that if anyone else discovers that Sung Jin-woo has awakened for the second time, he will deal with the 2. In return, Sung Jin-woo will sell 3 rank C gates to the White Tiger team for a price of 300 million each. But Sang-min found it too expensive and only offered 200 million. Just waiting for that, Sung Jin-woo immediately closed the deal. It turns out that everything was in Sung Jin-woo's calculation. Such a talent, if not doing ordinary people, it is really a waste of talent, isn't it, brothers? After returning, Sang-min only knew that he was fooled by a very painful trick. When the rank C gate is still being auctioned a lot for just under 10 million. As for Sung Jin-woo, he started entering the dungeon to complete the job change mission he received. Here, Sung Jin-woo had to face knights in heavy armor. They don't have any skills, they just swing their swords to attack like puppets. Moreover, they are very slow, only their defense is very strong. If it was before, Sung Jin-woo wouldn't know how to deal with it. But after facing many opponents with high defense stats, Sung Jin-woo easily defeated this knight. However, this dungeon does not allow Sung Jinwoo to use items in the store, nor use the daily mission reward to restore status. So Sung Jinwoo had to save mana to avoid running out of mana, leading to dangerous situations for himself. After thinking about it, Sung Jinwoo decided to quickly resolve this task, so he charged into the sky with his bare hands against the knights. After defeating them, Sung Jinwoo received a suit of armor and a bag containing 30,000 gold. The next monsters were the wizards using fire magic, followed by the archer assassins who rushed up to give Sung Jinwoo some experience. After defeating all the monsters, Sung Jinwoo leveled up quite a bit and earned some nice items to wear. Sung Jinwoo then proceeded to the boss's room, which looked like a king's room. In the room, Sung Jinwoo saw the boss of this dungeon. It was a knight in blood-red armor known as Igris, the commander of the Blood Legion. With a long sword in hand, Igris swung at Sung Jinwoo. Fortunately, he was able to duck in time to avoid the attack. The stone pillar behind him was not so lucky, as it was easily destroyed by the sword swing. If Sung Jinwoo had been hit by that sword, he would have been seriously injured, if not killed. After avoiding the attack, Sung Jinwoo used his dagger to counterattack. He suddenly realized that his opponent was also very strong. Before he could do anything else, Sung Jinwoo saw Igris swing his sword down, forcing him to jump back to avoid it. But before he could regain his composure, another sword thrust came straight at Sung Jinwoo, forcing him to lean back and jump over it to keep his distance. At this point, Sung Jinwoo realized that his opponent, who had both strong offensive and defensive power, was the toughest boss he had ever faced. So, he decided to fight it barehanded. Seeing Sung Jinwoo put away his weapon, Igris also put down his sword and dagger, along with his cloak, indicating that he wanted to fight Sung Jinwoo fairly. Igris rushed forward, grabbed Sung Jinwoo by the neck, and used a skillful shoulder throw to slam Sung Jinwoo into the wall, followed by a punch that forced Sung Jinwoo to block with both hands. Although he blocked it, Sung Jinwoo lost 500 HP. After regaining his composure, Sung Jinwoo decided to activate his speed boost skill to deal with Igris using speed. But Igris's close combat skills were not to be underestimated. As soon as Sung Jinwoo charged at him, he used his elbow to block Sung Jinwoo's attack. Then, the two of them exchanged punches without a clear winner. Taking advantage of Sung Jinwoo's momentary lapse, Igris punched him, causing Sung Jinwoo to lose 30% of his health and spin around. Taking advantage of this, Sung Jinwoo kicked at Igris's face, but Igris caught his leg and punched Sung Jinwoo into the wall, causing him to fall onto the throne. Igris approached Sung Jinwoo and summoned his sword to behead Sung Jinwoo. Thanks to the skill of his high-level knight's gloves, Sung Jinwoo was able to block Igris's sword with his bare hands and stab Igris in the eye with his dagger. While Igris was in pain, Sung Jinwoo hugged him and pushed him into the wall. Igris pulled the dagger out of his eye and tried to stab Sung Jinwoo with it, but Sung Jinwoo retracted the dagger and summoned it back to his hand, stabbing Igris in the throat. After using his vital point attack continuously and focusing all his attacks on Igris, Sung Jinwoo finally defeated Igris. It's not an exaggeration to say that Sung Jinwoo was very lucky to defeat Igris, as he was inferior to him in every aspect. After a lucky victory, Sung Jinwoo leveled up twice and picked up 4 items: a helmet, a knight's chain, the hand of the ruler, a leather bag, and a heart stone. He received 1.5 million gold from the leather bag. The knight's chain helmet is an S-rank equipment. The hand of the ruler is a skill that can be learned by breaking the necklace. The heart stone is an item that can be used to leave the dungeon if desired. Seeing the heart stone, Sung Jinwoo wondered if the mission was not over yet. At this point, the system announced that the job transfer mission was just beginning. Many gates appeared around Sung Jinwoo. The system announced that the longer you stay, the more points you will get to have a higher job. The knights gradually appeared and surrounded Sung Jinwoo. Sung Jinwoo used stealth to buy time. However, with the remaining mana, Sung Jinwoo could only maintain it for about 3 minutes. Unfortunately, there were mages among the monsters. They used the scouting skill and found Sung Jinwoo's location. The knights attacked Sung Jinwoo immediately after seeing him. Sung Jinwoo had no choice but to fight off the 2 monsters. Apart from risking his life, Sung Jinwoo had another option to use the Heartstone to escape. But if he did that, the transferred job would be very weak, which was not what Sung Jinwoo wanted. When he was about to give up, he looked at the clock and realized that only 5 minutes had passed. So, Sung Jinwoo had to use the Heartstone to escape. But before he could use it, Sung Jinwoo was knocked away, and the Heartstone fell out. When he stood up, he thought of his past image, the time when he was considered the weakest hunter by everyone. That made Sung Jinwoo determined to become stronger than ever. But Sung Jinwoo's inner demon was his past image. It told Sung Jinwoo that even if his appearance changed, he was still a weak person. Fighting the inner demon and the knights at the same time quickly defeated Sung Jinwoo. Just when a knight was about to finish off Sung Jinwoo, the system announced that Sung Jinwoo's daily mission was not completed and transferred him to the punishment area. After appearing in the punishment area, the first thing he did was open the shop, buy a fatigue reduction potion, and use it immediately. But Sung Jinwoo's blood was not restored, so he thought of using the monsters in this area to level up and his blood would be full again. But if he took a hit, he would log out of the world immediately. That made him feel more excited than ever. After nearly 4 hours of fighting in the punishment area, Sung Jinwoo leveled up to 51. Before returning to the job transfer mission, Sung Jinwoo bought a knight-killing dagger, which cost him 2.8 million gold. Then he bought a bone bracelet and tied it to his arm. After that, Sung Jinwoo used the necklace to learn the skill of the ruler's hand. This skill is a skill that does not need to use mana but can still control objects without touching them. After preparing everything, Sung Jinwoo was ready to face those monsters again. As soon as he appeared, the monsters surrounded Sung Jinwoo like ants. But at his strongest state, Sung Jinwoo easily smashed the knights. Sung Jinwoo felt strange that killing these knights did not gain experience points. The mages just stood behind and did not attack him. Sung Jinwoo immediately realized that the mages had been summoning knights continuously, so no matter how many knights Sung Jinwoo killed, he did not gain any experience points. So, Sung Jinwoo decided to throw his dagger to destroy the wizards first. As expected, the knights were immediately defeated when their summoned wizards died. Not only that, Sung Jinwoo also learned a new skill, dagger throwing. Having figured out how to complete the mission, Sung Jinwoo immediately hid and located the remaining wizards. After finding his targets, Sung Jinwoo charged into the midst of thousands of enemies. He managed to eliminate 2 more wizards. At this point, the remaining 3 wizards joined forces to summon a giant golem to stop Sung Jinwoo. Although the golem inflicted high damage, Sung Jinwoo ignored it and rushed to kill the remaining 3 wizards. At this point, the system announced that all monsters had been killed and now Sung Jinwoo could choose a profession. However, when Sung Jinwoo wanted to choose the assassin profession, the system automatically selected a profession for him based on his actions. In the end, the profession that Sung Jinwoo received was one he could never have guessed: Necromancer, a wizard who has the ability to manipulate death and lead an army of zombies. Although surprised by the profession he received, Sung Jinwoo calmly considered the pros and cons of this profession. But while he was thinking, the system asked Sung Jinwoo if he wanted to choose this profession. After some thought, Sung Jinwoo decided to choose this hidden class. However, after agreeing to choose the profession, the system upgraded the Necromancer profession to Shadow Lord based on Sung Jinwoo's recent battle results. After changing professions, Sung Jinwoo learned the special skills of the class, received additional stats, and was given the title of Overcomer of all adversities. At this point, the outstanding skill required a slogan to summon. Sung Jin-woo said a slogan, "Rise, my army." After reading the slogan, the shadows gradually appeared from their bodies. The skill of accumulating shadows allowed Sung Jin-woo to turn these shadows into his summoned beasts, and now Sung Jin-woo could summon up to 20 creatures. At this point, after accumulating 19 high-ranking shadows, there was one position left that Sung Jin-woo wanted to use for the boss of this mission, Igris. However, when extracting Igris's shadow, it failed. Sung Jin-woo only had 2 more chances to extract Igris's shadow. After the final attempt, Sung Jin-woo successfully extracted Igris's shadow, and Igris's level was 7 and rank Knight. From the rank of Knight, Sung Jin-woo was allowed to name the shadow, and Sung Jin-woo kept its original name, Igris. Finally, Sung Jin-woo had established his own army. After leaving the dungeon, Sung Jin-woo went home for a nap, but his sister called and reminded him to meet the teachers at school at 5 p.m. So, Sung Jin-woo went to the bank to withdraw money, then went shopping for clothes to go to school with his sister. However, because Sung Jin-woo had changed so much that even his sister didn't recognize him, with his handsome and cool appearance, Sung Jin-woo quickly became famous throughout the school. After meeting the teacher, she asked Sung Jin-woo to persuade a student who had awakened to return to school. Surprisingly, the girl was Han Seom-ai, who had been in the same team with Sung Jin-woo when they went to the sea-level dungeon before and was also a close friend of Jin-ah, Sung Jin-woo's sister. At this point, at the airport, Hwang Dong-soo had arrived in Korea and was looking for 2 people, Sung Jin-woo and Yoo Jin-ho. Meanwhile, Sung Jin-woo was leading Seom-ai to meet in Sangmin, then requested to experience the rookie training department of the White Tiger Association. Sung Jin-woo's purpose was to let Seom-ai realize the difference between rank E and higher ranks. But when they just stepped into the dungeon, the gate suddenly changed, from blue to red. At this point, An Sang-min reported to the White Tiger Guild's leader, Baek Yoon-ho, who was a rank S. After hearing the news, the leader decided to check it out himself. After entering the dungeon, Sung Jin-woo's team was transported to a place surrounded by snow. While Sung Jin-woo and Seom-ai were observing, they were attacked by ice arrows. Fortunately, Sung Jin-woo caught the arrow, otherwise, Seom-ai would have met the same fate as an unfortunate hunter. Behind them, they realized that the attacker was an ice goblin. Meanwhile, team leader Baek Yoon-ho was also at the red gate and realized that this was a very dangerous mistake. It could be a gate from rank B or higher, and they should be prepared for the possibility of a total annihilation. Sung Jin-woo also knew that the red gate would close once they entered and would only open when the boss was defeated. Rank A hunter Kim Chol wanted to form a team to sweep the dungeon. However, he only accepted those from rank B or higher. Anyone lower would be discarded by him. At this time, outside, Hwang Dong-soo also arrived at the red gate because he heard that Sung Jin-woo had entered. Meanwhile, those inside the red gate split into 2 paths. Sung Jin-woo led those who were left behind on a different path. At this time, team leader Kim Chol was fighting with an ice barrier. With the power of rank A, he easily defeated the poor ice bear. Sung Jin-woo took clothes from his bag for everyone to wear to keep warm. But suddenly, an ice bear appeared in front of Sung Jin-woo. It attacked Sung Jin-woo, but he just lightly jumped up and punched it in the head, causing the ice bear to fall right there, and so they had a delicious dinner. After eating, Sung Jin-woo went alone to complete his daily tasks and then went to the ice bear's cave. Sung Jin-woo summoned his shadow army to level up quickly. Sung Jin-woo's shadow army rushed into the bear herd like a tiger descending on the plains. With their immortal bodies, they were not afraid to exchange injuries. As long as Sung Jin-woo's mana was not exhausted, they were almost immortal. It was indeed the skill of a hidden class. At this time, the bear leader also appeared with a strong body and full of scars like Luffy after the time skip. It looked strong, but in reality, it was indeed strong. Just a few hits from it made Sung Jin-woo's warriors and mages disappear in an instant. Sung Jinwoo immediately ordered Idris to take care of the bear. Idris coldly drew his sword and rushed to slash the bear leader. With just one sword strike, Idris added another wound to the bear's shoulder, then quickly, with a few sword strikes, Idris easily beheaded the bear. After completing the task, Idris knelt down before his king. But at this time, Sung Jinwoo was also admiring Idris's performance and thinking that if Idris had used the sword to fight him last time, he would have been green for a long time. But even though he said that, Sung Jinwoo felt that this bear leader was quite strong, so he decided to let it join his army. 3 days had passed in the dungeon, but outside, only 3 hours had passed. At this time, because of Sung Jinwoo, guild leader Baek Yunho and Hwang Dong-soo had a conflict and it could lead to a battle between the two rank S hunters. Meanwhile, the people following Kim Chol in the dungeon were about to be defeated by the monster inside. They were even surrounded by ice goblins. Outside, because they had been itching for a long time, the two rank S hunters had started to compare with each other. But they were stopped by investigator Eugene Chol. After thinking Sung Jinwoo would die in the dungeon, Hwang Dong-soo angrily left. In the dungeon, after his failure, Kim Chol wandered and saw Sung Jinwoo's group eating and drinking happily. He was furious and wanted to rush in to steal food, but was slapped by Sung Jinwoo from behind and fell face down. However, Sung Jinwoo didn't care about this stupid boy because the boss of the dungeon had appeared. He arrogantly wanted his subordinates to fight with Sung Jinwoo. But before he could finish introducing himself, he was beheaded by Sung Jinwoo. Seeing this, he was not angry but found Sung Jinwoo interesting. The leader of the Ice Goblin, Baruka, had a deal for Sung Jinwoo alone. That is, he would let the others go and spare his life. But Sung Jinwoo only said one sentence, which made Baruka want to gang up on him. But to gang up on Sung Jinwoo, he was really wrong. Then he saw behind Sung Jinwoo a whole army rising up like a slap in the face of Baruka. Both sides rushed into each other without hesitation. However, Sung Jinwoo also had his worries. Just by looking, he knew that Baruka was quite strong. Even if he and Idris were to rise up, they might not be his opponents. But he thought of an interesting way, which was to kick the sword to Kim Chol and then solo with Baruka. As Sung Jinwoo thought, after trying a few moves, he was at a disadvantage. After asking the wizard to cast a fireball for him, Sung Jinwoo retreated and waited for Baruka to attack. Kim Chol also stood up and rushed in with his sword intending to slash Sung Jinwoo. All of this was in his calculation. When Kim Chol jumped up to slash at him from behind, he was stabbed in the chest by Idris and died instantly. Immediately, Sung Jinwoo summoned the ghost of Kim Chol. After summoning, Sung Jinwoo gave him the name Iron, a knight rank. At this time, Baruka had chopped Idris and walked to Sung Jinwoo. But Iron used the taunt skill to make Baruka attack him. As a tanker, Iron was not affected by Baruka's attacks. Sung Jinwoo and Idris were responsible for attacking. Even if Baruka was the boss of the B-level dungeon or above, he could not fight 3 against Sung Jinwoo's people. After a few moves, Baruka was paralyzed and bleeding from Sung Jinwoo. After seeing his army being wiped out, Baruka rushed into Sung Jinwoo wanting to avenge his men. But Sung Jinwoo directly threw the dagger into Baruka and used the skill of the ruling hand to accelerate the dagger into Baruka's face. At the same time, Iron hugged Baruka from behind. Because of the painful blow, Baruka went crazy and wanted to kill everyone. Before he could do anything, he was stabbed in the stomach by Sung Jinwoo. But Baruka was quite tough. After taking a knife, he grabbed Sung Jinwoo's hand and wanted to hit him back. Then from behind, Iron gave him an axe to the head, making him instantly dizzy. After the boss was killed, the gate also appeared. Sung Jinwoo called everyone to return. After leaving the dungeon, everyone was surprised that the survivors were all low-ranked people. This surprised Baek Junho and he wanted to force Sung Jinwoo to answer. But he just said ask someone else, I'm tired, and took Song-ai home. However, this aroused the interest of Baek Junho and he ordered team leader in to recruit Sung Jinwoo at all costs. The next day, Sung Jinwoo returned to conquer the sea-level dungeon with Yoo Jin-ho and Song-ai. With his army, conquering the sea-level dungeon was as easy as pie for Sung Jinwoo, so much so that Jin-ho even lost his regular job of mining magic stones. And the next day, Sung Jinwoo had completed the contract with Jin-ho. At this time, in an A-level dungeon in the United States, a mysterious Korean man appeared. He easily defeated the American hunters, causing them to mistake him for the boss of the dungeon. However, he just wanted to go home. At this time, Baek Junho received news from Japan that a winged ant was found on the Japanese coast. This reminded Baek Junho of the S-level dungeon that opened on Jeju Island 4 years ago. That dungeon was full of ants, and the Korean government had attacked 3 times but failed. If the ants there evolved and all could fly, Korea would have to face the worst disaster ever. Meanwhile, Sung Jinwoo said goodbye to his sister, then said he would go out for about a week with his friend. During that time, Sung Jinwoo returned to the Demon Castle to continue conquering this dungeon. When he entered the second floor, Sung Jinwoo received a mission to collect 10,000 demon souls. Now, Sung Jinwoo's level was 3 times higher than before, so he easily defeated the annoying demons. At this time, Jin-ho also persuaded his father to hand over the management of the guild to him if he could persuade Sung Jinwoo to join the guild. After sweeping the monsters here, Sung Jinwoo wanted to climb to the next floor, so he summoned the ice bear. Sung Jinwoo immediately rode the bear to the entrance of the upper floor. But on the way, a few monsters appeared to block the way. But surprisingly, the ice bear carrying Sung Jinwoo rushed like Malphite using an unstoppable move. At this time in Washington, the mysterious man at the American Hunter Association said that he had been in the dungeon for 10 years and when the hunters found him, he had just woken up. After the investigation, they also knew his name was Sung Il-hwan, a hunter from Korea. Returning to Sung Jinwoo, he now understood a bit about the Demon Castle. This castle has 100 floors, each floor of the Demon Castle is a different world. Each time you want to go up to the upper floor, you need to find a pass that appears randomly. When killing monsters very quickly, Sung Jinwoo had climbed to the 50th floor and at this time, he had harvested 561/10,000 demon souls. Sung Jinwoo met a quite strong boss, avaricious Vulcan, the ruler of the lower floors. His subordinates were quite numerous, but Sung Jinwoo's army was also not small, so both gave orders to their troops to charge. Sung Jinwoo's army had become much stronger after Sung Jinwoo added points to intelligence. So Sung Jinwoo's army easily defeated Vulcan's subordinates. While Vulcan was still sitting there, not bothering to move. Sung Jinwoo thought that this boss would be easy to handle, but in the blink of an eye, Vulcan, with his huge body, had a speed like a hack. Just with a stick, he easily defeated Iron. Sung Jinwoo saw that and jumped up to attack. With a straight punch to the face, it caused the giant Vulcan to soar, smashing his face into the wall. Though the blow drove Vulcan into a state of fury, elevating all his stats by 50%. This made Vulcan faster and stronger immediately, overpowering Sung Jinwoo. However, with the strength points he had before, Sung Jinwoo could still withstand that attack. After deliberately creating an opening, Sung Jinwoo leaped into attack. Vulcan immediately swung his stick towards Sung Jinwoo, but luckily, Sung Jinwoo used the skill of the ruler's hand to move his body in midair to avoid Vulcan's attack. After escaping, Sung Jinwoo lured Vulcan to a collapsing building, then suddenly activated the fast-running skill, then climbed up the building opposite to where Vulcan was running fast, then used a strong jump like a rocket towards Vulcan's head. Then, he struck straight at Vulcan's neck. After defeating Vulcan, Sung Jinwoo received quite a few valuable items. Among them was a piece of Divine Realm artifact, a type of wood containing powerful magic used to upgrade high-level magic equipment, and an S-rank earring from the monarch. This equipment has a cumulative effect if the set is complete. The Avarice Orb, an A-rank item, can amplify the user's magical power. At this time in Washington, Huang Dongsu discovered that Sun Aohuan is Sung Jingwu's father. So, he told the US government that Sun Aohuan is a monster that needs to be eliminated. He then told Sun Aohuan that his son had died. Meanwhile, Sung Jingwu was still engrossed in leveling up in the Demon Castle. After defeating Midas, Sung Jingwu received the Demon Lord's necklace. It's a set with the earring he got from Vulcan earlier, in the spring water of the Echo Forest. Along with that, Sung Jingwu also completed the mission of collecting 10,000 demon souls. At this time, Sung Jingwu had 3 rewards. First, Sung Jingwu chose the random cursed box. After opening it, there was a key, but no information was displayed. The second reward was 20 stat points. Of course, Sung Jingwu added intelligence because he is a dark wizard. Finally, there was a hidden reward, the formula for the holy water of life.